Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Welcome back to the show. We've got a great guest for you today. We've got Dr. Jack Butz with us. He's with a group called benfotiamine.com. And he is doing great things with people with diabetes and other challenges with what they're providing. So, Jack, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Nice to be with you today.
My pleasure. So tell us a little bit about your business and what types of clients that you're helping.
Well, about 15 years ago, my daughter's husband was having a problem with diabetes and overweight situation. And he was a brilliant, one of the most bright young men that I ever know. And he had been in the military and had gotten out after 12 years and was looking for something to do, but he had diabetes himself and knew the problems that it involved. So he came across this product called benfotiamine, which is a generic term for this special type of thiamine, D1. Special in that it is what they call a fat-soluble vitamin D1 as opposed to normal natural B1, which is water-soluble. Mm-hmm. And they found out that the fat solubility of the product made it work better in the body to do what it does for nerve cells and other things. It actually stays in the body for a period of 5 times longer than natural B1. So therefore, it was able to have a better effect on what it was trying to prevent. And what it does do basically is help stop when you have too much glucose in your blood, that glucose gets into other cells of your body and in some respects destroys those cells. And that's why people have so much diabetic problem and can occur any place in your body. But this had the effect of helping to stop some of that damage. I can't explain to you exactly how it does it because I don't even know, but that's what it does. So anyway,
Awesome.
I started.
Yeah, that's awesome. You spoke a little bit how you got started, but what led you to this and gave you the inspiration to start the business and provide this product to the marketplace?
Right. Well, when he came across the product and he having diabetes himself, he knew it was important to him also. So he started up with the company and started it in his home down in Florida. Lake Worth, Florida, and started all by himself, did everything there was to do, did all the paperwork necessary to establish a business in the state and get the licensing. And he already had the knowledge about the product. So he started to do that from the home, and the product became fairly successful quickly, even though the product benfotiamine has been around for over 50 years. It was first discovered and invented, actually, and patented in Japan. So it's a product that's been around for a long time. It's not just some new. So anyway, the product had been well known around the world. In fact, in Germany, it's even a prescription item, and you can't get it without a prescription. It's used for many things there too. But he had found that through all the research that he had read and some he had done himself, that the product did have a very good effect on people who have neuropathy pain, neuropathy being pain. And there's virtually about 100 different ways that you can develop neuropathy. But the peripheral neuropathy, peripheral meaning around the hands and feet, extremities, almost everyone with diabetes will eventually get some sort of neuropathy or numbness or tingling or pain to the point where I've talked with many people who could neither sleep nor walk. I mean, really serious situations. And over periods of time, a lot of these people, after using our product, were getting relief from these terrible symptoms. And occasionally, some of them did not get any relief, which is the thing that happens with people no matter what you do. For some people, the product, no matter what it is, can be like a miracle cure for them. And for other people, it's just a waste of money. But we found that about all the people I've talked to in the last 8 years that I've been helping, I retired quite a while ago. The people I've talked to, many of them had told me that their doctors, their neurologists, and so forth, had told them that there's nothing they could do for them. So they put them on all kinds of things like Lyrica and some other drugs and so forth that really, really don't help them. And sometimes are really harmful to them. So when we found out how well this was helping people, it started becoming quite a successful venture. And he developed it more and more. And then, as I said, when they started this, it was really busy about 12 years ago. The product was really becoming so well accepted and was doing such a good job that we found out that the internet started to get into the picture, and anybody who's in a retail business can be undercut by all the people that are on selling the same product on the internet. We sell a lot of our product to people who buy. We sell it to them wholesale, doctors, and also vitamin type stores. We sell a lot of doctors. And some people just buy our product in large quantities, which we give them a good discount for, and then they undersell the price that we sell for retail. So over periods of years, we found that we've been losing some customers because of the fact that they can actually, get us down by $1 or $2, and for them that's important enough to do it. So they buy them on the internet. But the only thing that has made a big difference in that regard is that we have such a good relationship with our clients or patients, whichever you want to call them, that they will stick with us even though the price is higher. Not a lot higher, but even though we're higher priced. To give an example, we had one case recently where we shipped them out a 6-pack bottle of our product, and they never received it. And the post office received it, but nobody ever found it. So we just sent them another 6-pack for nothing. And little things like that. Or we have a lot of veterans who call who are really not financially in great condition. So sometimes they'll say, I really can't afford to do more than 1 or 2 bottles this month. And we'll say, okay. And then, they don't know it until they get the package 2 days later, we send them an extra bottle for nothing. Little stuff like that, which I think has grown us over the years to be a reputable company. We back up our product. We help people whenever we can. And we know that the product helps them. I use the product myself, as does my wife. And that's basically what's been happening over the last 8 to 10 years. We have a lot of doctors. Some doctors buy just small amounts being a case, 12 bottles. They'll buy them and dispense them to their patients. And a lot of doctors used it, but some used it to fantastic extent. There's one doctor of ours in North Carolina who actually buys 25 cases of our product a month, where most doctors' offices buy 1 or 2 cases. Wow. So he's so convinced and overwhelmed by the value of the product that he's even given lectures about our product at the University of North Carolina Medical School.
Awesome.
So things like that. Yeah, and it's fun to talk with people who, as I say, can't live without us. They keep saying, "Don't ever stop. Don't ever stop business because I know what I'll do."
Wow,
that makes you feel good.
Yeah, that's a great testimonial for sure, and such an awesome product. But let's back up a little bit. I know you have worlds of experience. What, if anything, along the way, who's inspired you?
Well, you mean in which way? In my business way or customer way?
Yeah, in your business or whatever stands out. Who stands out the most that's inspired you in your journey, in your life journey?
Okay. Well, I have, besides this one doctor who I talk to every month, and we know them personally. We visited their offices and such. Some patients that I've been talking to for many, many years, and then they go and they start to tell me that they like the product so much that they're using it for their brothers and sisters and cousins and whatever. And therefore, our business does expand that way because we do not advertise. We have a website, but we do not go out and spend money. The reason for that being, well, the one I admired the most was with Lou Montgomery, my daughter's husband, who started a company, because he did such a fantastic job of going through it and starting it up for nothing and getting it to a point where it was, a very highly regarded company, and then unfortunately died. Mm-hmm. But those things do happen. But he inspired me a little bit about the company and how much it can do for people. That's what my daughter still tries to communicate to people. We don't care. Sometimes when people don't have any good results at all, we just stop sending it to them, or occasionally we'll send them a little more, because I have found myself over the years that people vary so much physically in their ability to have benefits from one product or another. Some people will get fantastic benefits with our product in a week or two's time, and some people it takes 3 or 4 months before anything happens. And so one of our problems that I have noticed myself is sometimes people, because of their budgets, cannot afford to buy more than one bottle at a time. I'll tell them, I say, well, we don't really like to have you buy one bottle, not from the sales aspect, but because we find that too many people, it takes 2 or 3 months of the product before it does anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go around and try and save some money and buy one bottle and nothing happens in the way of any helping your problem, then you're going to stop using the product, never to find out whether it would be any good or not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Been distressing. Because, when you start to talk to people, well, you shouldn't buy one, you should buy 3, they immediately start thinking, well, this is just a sales pitch, they're just trying to sell more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the reason. So I don't know how many people have tried it for 1 month and never going back to it, probably thousands. And I don't know how you can recoup those, but that's business.
Yeah, and that leads us into the next question is, that could be one of the biggest misconceptions is they're looking for results immediately, but you're saying they need at least to take it at least 60 days to get a result, right?
Well, what I usually tell the folks is if it doesn't help you in 60 days, it probably won't help you. I've actually had people who had help within days, which is hard to imagine, but that people tell me that. So, that is one of the problems that we have, but that may be true in any business.
Can you share with us a story how someone got the benefits from it, how you've helped them?
Sure. Yeah, I have one particular case that hits home with me is my own brother-in-law lives in Arizona. He's had fibromyalgia, which is another neuropathy problem. And I decided when we first were talking about it, I didn't know he had that problem for a long time. So I was working with our product at that time, a couple of years. So I said, oh, let me send you a bottle of our product. So I sent it out to him, and he took it for 30 days. And then very gently, when the 30 days was over, he came back and said, well, they didn't work. Wow. I said, yeah, of course, that's the way it always is. If you're going to give it to a patient or a friend or a family member, it won't work,
Right.
So I said, okay, let me send you 3 more bottles, which I did. And within the second or third bottle after that, the product began to take effect, and his fibromyalgia situation was cured. Awesome. So that was a homegrown episode. And I have one of my, I don't know if I can tell you this story, but this is my favorite story of a gentleman from Texas. We have a lot of customers in Texas for some reason. And a gentleman calls up, and we got talking for him, just like I'm talking with you about stuff. Mm-hmm. I like to talk with sports and even sometimes politics, if you know who you're talking to. And so I got talking to him. He said, I can't walk. He said, I'm in such pain. And I said, well, you live in Texas. He said, yes, sir. I said, you have a horse you must be a cowboy. And he says, yes, sir, I am a cowboy. And yes, I do have a horse. I said, well, why do you worry about walking if you have a horse? Well, he says, my horse can't walk either. So I said, well, try giving him some of our pills and see what happens. That's a true story.
Wow. So
anyway,
just to clarify on your last statement, it probably wasn't a cure, but you certainly, helped them and they got better.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
So
I have people call me. Some people tell me that they cannot even get out of bed because they can't walk. Some people can't even sleep. And they call me back a few months later and say, thank God, it's like a miracle. I said, I can walk better. I can walk well without pain. I can sleep, and I couldn't before. And the doctors told me there was nothing they could do for me because they don't know about your product and so forth. So, I mean, that doesn't happen every case, of course. Mm-hmm. But we have people that have that happen to them. And on the opposite end of the ladder, I had one lady who told me that she felt that if she couldn't get help from our product, that she probably might commit suicide.
Oh my!
She was in such dire. Now, I don't know what happened to her, to be honest. Don't remember exactly whether she came back, keep using the product, or what happened. But sometimes I get calls that are that extreme. You just don't know that there's people out there with such pain that they don't want to live.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And if you can help any of those folks, well, then business is complete success.
Yes, that's correct. What would be the first thing that you would tell the listener that they should do if they're ready to experience your product?
Well, the first thing I ask them is that we have two products, basically. One is the benfotiamine, which is itself, which is called the original benfotiamine, is a special type of vitamin B1. We have that as our major product. We have a second product, which is exactly the same as the first product, same amount of thiamine in it, but there are smaller additional amounts of vitamin B again. B as in boy. Vitamin B2, B5, B6, and B12. That is in addition to the B1. That's called a multi-B neuropathy formula. First thing I do when I talk to people, most of whom have had diabetes because of there's so many people in the world with diabetes. We don't even know how many. Tremendous number. And a good number of those people do have pain, neuropathy pain. So I first ask the people if they're looking for help, they haven't been able to be helped by any doctor or any other medication that they've been taking, because this is not a drug. This is a vitamin supplement. Mm-hmm. I go and say, are you on another B complex? Are you already taking vitamin B2, 5, 6, and 12 through another vehicle? And if they say yes, then I just have them use regular benfotiamine. If they say, I'm taking a B complex, I'm not taking one, then I would suggest, well, why don't you try our regular benfotiamine for a little while? And then if you're not noticing any help, that is, especially if you're varying the dosages. Dosage variation is a big thing, too, because we start people out two capsules twice a day, but some people need 6 or 8, but we don't know that until they've been doing it for a while. Mm-hmm. So I let that up to the patient. So if they can tell if it's after a month or two nothing's happening, they just up the dosage and continue taking more and see what happens. So once they determine which of the two products they want to take, then we just give them the directions about the dosages that I just mentioned and send them their little supply. We normally can reach any place in the country in 3 days. And we do send a lot overseas also, some of which hasn't worked as well as others.
So you don't need a prescription in the United States for it?
No, you do not. We send a lot. We have a lot of customers in Canada. Sometimes these capsules, they're capsules. Sometimes they get held up, especially if we send more than six bottles, held up at the border, sometimes for a couple of weeks. But there's no method or madness about it. Sometimes the border holds it up for 2 days, sometimes for 2 weeks. We can never tell. It's a minor inconvenience, But
just like anything, can you take too much of it? No,
we've never been any case of over medicating with it. It does not interfere with any other medication that people take. I mean, I'm 87 years old. I must take 5 or 6 anyway, different types of things, for blood pressure, et cetera, cholesterol and such. And I've been taking this stuff forever. It does not interfere with any other medication. No. And then I did have a customer one time who called me up, and he had such pain that he took 30 capsules at one time. And wow. I said, well, did it work? He said, heck yes, it worked. It was wonderful. I said, well, I'll tell you what, though, I don't recommend that you keep doing that.
Wow.
We don't want to test the outer limits of it,
Right.
But there's never been any known case of over-medicating with it, no.
So any other additional known side effects that people might experience from it, if any?
Not really. I have some good side effects. One gentleman called me one day and told me that his doctor told him that his blood was now fairly well clear of plaque, which was an interesting thing that happened. Another one told me that he was driving down the street one day and his vision, as if somebody turned a switch in his eyes, his vision just became better. And he went right to his eye doctor and he said, doctor, for some reason, I am now seeing tremendously well better. And I don't know why, except that I would take this new product. And the doctor checked his eyes and said, there's definitely an improvement in your eyes. So there is a situation called retinopathy. Mm-hmm. That's pain pain in the eyes and such for different reasons. Sometimes it's a blood vessel, sometimes it's other things. But anyway, it can be helped by the product. Definitely proven by him, and I don't know how many others, but that's the one I know of in particular. Some people have said the same thing about the kidney function, such as that. There's a whole lot of different things that keep coming up over as I talk with people over the years. They tell me that this got improved and that and so forth. And I just remembered all these things, which is one of the reasons I continue taking the product myself, although I'm really quite healthy at my age. But my wife and I both take it, and she feels much better. And it's just seems to be good for a lot of things we don't even know about. And right at the moment, they're doing some research, medical research that's giving some good results in Alzheimer's. And if they can get a track on the fact that this product can help Alzheimer's, it'll be a fantastic advance. Absolutely. Yep. No, they're doing it now.
What if people or the listeners are ready to contact you and get more information? Where can they go?
Yeah, well, we have a website. If they're on the internet, I find that there's probably a majority of people these days seem to have access to a computer of some kind. If no other way, ask their grandkids, But we have two things. Our website itself is called Benfo Complete, BENFO Complete, COMPLETE.com. Benfo Complete is a new website. It is replacing one called benfotiamine.net, which we're still using, but we're trying to transfer over into the other one. Excuse my computers are talking to me here. And so that's the one way they can look up the product and can order. They can get on our website, benfotiamine, which explains the product to some degree and shows people how they can order. It does have some testimonials and such as that. That's one way to do it. Can order through the computer if they feel capable of doing so. It's not that hard. And then we have a phone number that we have on all the bottles, and this is where I get my calls every day. It's a toll-free number. It's an 888-493-8014 number. That's 888-493-8014. That line comes directly to me, and then I discuss with people on the phone right then. Then they can also leave messages if they can't. If I don't happen to be in the office, I can call them back, which I usually do the same day.
Perfect. Well, what great information and such a great product. And thank you for sharing that with the audience today. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. As I say, my daughter is particularly happy that there are so many people who do get help from pain where they were told they couldn't. And, that alone is enough to keep in business.
Absolutely.
And she's a great gal, and she keeps me working while she has 4 children.
There you go. Well, thanks again, Dr. Jack. We appreciate it. And there you have it for this edition of the show. We'll see you the next time.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.